You pick the side, I just hope you gon' stand on it.
Welcome back to the Standonitpod podcast, where we bring you real conversation, analyzing and breaking down the NBA, NFL, and other sports. My name is Khalil Chapman, here with my co-host,
Bellz.
Yes, sir. Just want to say thank you to all our subscribers. If you've been rocking with us for the short time that we've been rocking, we appreciate you. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that like, follow, and subscribe button. We're going to jump into it real quick, man. The finals went to 7 games. We saw Halliburton tear his Achilles, which is always unfortunate. He was leading the underdog charge of that group. What were your thoughts on those 7 games? I know SGA walks away with a finals MVP. What you thinking after that?
Man, that series was the beginning. Everybody thought the series wasn't going to be a competitive series, but it went 7 games, and we talked about it last episode. We felt like Indiana, dropped the ball because they was up 2-1, and they was up going into the fourth quarter, and they let OKC come back, and we was like, that game might cost them the championship, and It looked like it did. But OKC, Shea got his ring and the MVP. Probably had one of the best guard seasons of all time. It's probably the greatest OKC Thunder of all time, just for getting those accolades. And
Wait, that automatically makes him the greatest Thunder of all time?
Yeah, he got a ring, MVP. Russ personally is one of my favorite players ever, but I'm just being a realist. He got a ring. KD and Russ didn't win a ring, and they all got MVP. So I would go with Shea. And Shea still has his canvas, his concrete, with the little saying they say, like, it's not set or whatever. So he still has more to improve on with his game and everything.
I'm with that. You're right. I think the accolades, winning the championship, averaging like damn near 32, 33 points, getting the MVP, leading the team, being first in the league in almost everything. I think to a degree, right, he got to keep it up for like if he falls off a cliff and they don't reach the same success, I think we'll look at this season differently. But because he's young, I think we got a good opportunity to see like one of the best of a franchise. Now I think that's saying a lot, but he showed out. I think in this 7-game series, him and Jalen Williams had 18 free throw attempts a game, which is a lot. Indiana turned the ball over. They were +5 in turnovers every game. Couldn't hit. The Pacers couldn't hit 75% of their free throws, which you're not going to win no playoff series like that.
Nope.
And then Miles Turner, I think, in terms of folks who may have underperformed, I think Miles Turner not hitting shots late. I think there's some bad defensive slides, some bad defensive rotations that we can pinpoint for you. And then Rick Carlisle, I think, when you have the rotations that they had, like there were times in the games in the fourth quarter where you feel like you're waiting on somebody else to come in the game, which isn't necessarily momentum you want to build. Like you want to feel like you have 5 out there that's going to like get the job done, execute. And there were times where like you're waiting on Pascal to get back in, or you're like, maybe we should put Benedict Mathurin in, or maybe we should give T.J. McConnell a break. So just thinking about Rick Carlisle, man, I think he's a great coach. I think there were some areas where they went wrong. I think if they give a little bit more attention to these details, I know they play hard as hell, but some of it is a little bit reckless, and then you get to the line and you can't hit, and then we have the wrong folks at the game, or in the game at the wrong time. And they got some help from the refs in terms of the Thunder, So it was a good series, I think. What do you think about all the free throw attempts we saw in that series?
I honestly think OKC was just, I know Shea gets a lot of calls, but I feel like you get a lot of calls sometimes when you're aggressive. Like Shea was going downhill a lot. He wasn't settling as much. J-Dub wasn't as well. Tyrese Halliburton, that's not really his game. He's not like a high volume of a free throw shooter.
He was at like 6 a game.
Yeah, and a lot of their players they just like to get up downhill with like fast breaks and stuff. So when you're in a half court set, it's kind of harder for them to draw a bunch of fouls. The only one I seen that was really like drawing a lot of fouls was Benedict Mathurin.
Yeah, so, playing aggressively.
Yeah, so it's hard when you don't draw a lot of fouls because they're like a fast-paced team. They like to get it up and go downhill and all of that good stuff. So I wouldn't really say too much about that. But I agree with you about the rotations. I think when you play Game 7, you guys, man, it's no, I'm saving your minutes for, it ain't no next game. So he should have played Pascal more, in my opinion, after Halliburton got hurt.
Elbows.
Yeah. Like,
put elbows in the game.
And TJ McConnell, he probably needed a oxygen mask after that performance he had in Game 7 because he was carrying. So I just think that the rotations really cost him as well, and as well as the turnovers.
Yeah, we were like a quarter away from TJ McConnell carrying a team to the NBA final.
Yeah.
That was nuts. And I think the beginning of the series when I talked about Matherin's aggressiveness and TJ McConnell as a point leader, bruh. I mean, I think it showed coming into the series. It showed, man, that leadership, that aggressiveness, that pit bull mentality that TJ's got, man. That's gonna get you something. So wherever he goes, if he stays, I'm not sure what his contract is looking like, but he definitely earned some bread. That's for sure. That's
Maybe
for sure.
under the table too.
Exactly. I don't know what the dealerships out there are looking like, but he's gonna have a couple sponsoring him
for sure.
He's gonna have a Cadillac or something driving off the lot. The NBA draft, man, that's a wrap on the finals. The NBA draft was 2 days ago. Cooper Flag, the obvious number one pick. I think there are times in NBA history where we have some like perennial prospects. Mm-hmm. In your opinion, is Cooper Flag an all-time prospect?
I wouldn't say he's an all-time prospect. I think he's a great all-around player, though. And I think he's in a great situation going to Dallas because you got to think a lot of number one picks, they go to bad situations, whether it's Washington or New Orleans. I mean, not New Orleans. Well, New Orleans now, I guess. But like Charlotte Hornets, you know, LaMelo Ball has been down there. You know, he wasn't the first pick, but he was their top pick, and they've been struggling for years. So when you got 3 Hall of Famers that you playing with, and Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, and Kyrie Irving. They got 2 great centers, and Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford.
They just re-signed Gafford.
Yeah, Gafford got a bag.
That's who we left off this list. Yeah,
he got a bag, and you know they also got good wing defenders in P.J. Washington and Najee Marshall. I just think, and it's also gonna help Cooper Flag's development that Kyrie is out because he could play with the ball more because Kyrie is a ball dominant player. So, you know, I think the Mavericks, I don't see them making no noise right now, but maybe next year they probably have a chance to contend because they have a good nucleus of, bigs, wing defenders, and they got bucket getters. So, you know, that's important if you want to go far in the league.
I agree, man. I think what they're getting in this kid, though, is really advanced. Yeah. He sits at, 6'9", 6'10"?
Yep. Crazy
wingspan. He's athletic as hell. And this cat likes to defend. I think we don't see that a lot in the NBA with guys who can put the ball in the bucket. Like if they have some packages, some tools on offense, they're not usually the cat who's going to sell out on the defensive end.
Nah.
And I mean, this cat anchored the Duke defense.
And
it was impressive. It was impressive, like a concerted effort to be a shot blocker, a rim protector, an interior defender. And he's probably going to be defending wing players in the NBA. So that was just big. I think that's a good look for Dallas. You're able to get a younger star than Luka and try to build him up. I think Luka had his pluses and his minuses, but they got to a championship, lost it, and it eventually chose to part ways, which says a lot. So they have their chance now. I mean, I feel like they lucked up into this position to get Cooper Flag. All-time prospect, I think I would put Cooper Flag above Zion, not in the hype. But in terms of the player that I'm looking at on the court, yes, Zion was a freak athlete, but I don't think that always translated to winning basketball. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that always translated to winning basketball. So I'm not saying like Cooper Flag is head and shoulders a better player at that time.
Yeah.
I just mean in terms of evaluating the talent, this cat can check a lot of boxes on a basketball floor, and I think where Zion may have fell short a little bit, or other players fall short. Is their ability to defend multiple positions, sell out on defense.
He just need to stop eating. That was his plan.
Man, they had him they got him in New Orleans. That's the worst place to be for somebody who's
you just gotta stop eating.
Nutritionally challenged.
He's good when he's on the floor. He just gotta. I don't know.
He is good. I think when he's healthy, he's one of the better young players in the league. And I think people sometimes forget that the talent is there. But I think for me, it is those other things that explain why. Bruh, and there's some other things too we ain't gonna get into, but
man,
it explains why. Okay, yeah, you got a lot of talent, but it don't translate to winning basketball. So I do think Cooper Flag will be able to be successful in Dallas in those ways.
I agree.
Ace Bailey, man, talk to me. What the hell happened? What I don't know what's up with these kids thinking they can just pick what team they go to. What's going on here?
Well, I think we blame that on them getting the NIL money, the transfer portal. The transfer portal, you feel like everybody and their mama is in the transfer portal. So I think that's where it come from. And I think a lot of these players now are not hungry. Like, a lot of these players, they already getting money before they get in the NBA. Back in the day, they wasn't getting paid, or some of them probably was getting paid under the table, but it wasn't publicized like that.
For sure.
But, you got people making $5 million from NIL, and you think they get drafted, they be like, well, I'm going to, control my destiny. And Ace Bailey didn't want to go to the Jazz or the Hornets, and the Jazz still ended up picking him. Shout out Danny Ainge, because he really didn't care. But it was reported that he didn't join the team plane after the draft. Now it's a video out that he got on the plane after the fact, but I just think you can't always control where you're going, especially he was supposed to be a top 3 pick, and he didn't do no workouts. I guess he was getting bad advice from his agent, and that really messed up things. But he only slid to the top 5. It's not like he had a Shador situation where he was sliding in the second round.
Yeah, it ain't too bad. It ain't too bad. His agent is Sharif Cooper's pops.
Yeah. He going viral right now. It's a viral video of him in a Rolls Royce. They cooking. They said this Ace Bailey agent I was cracking up. Yeah,
I don't understand. I don't understand the video or why he's posting stuff like that. I think however old he is, I'm like, we got to chill at some point. But I think, he doesn't have any certification to represent NBA talent by the Players Association. So technically, he is not certified to provide guidance, counsel, or advocacy on behalf of an NBA player. Mm-hmm. So I'm just concerned to see that they were trying to get paid to do interviews, and they were saying no to interviews, like canceling interviews, like you had it planned and then you canceled like day of, and I just think those are all red flags.
And not doing no workouts. Like I can see you Cooper Flag. Like Cooper Flag knew he was going number 1 after the season, probably before the season, but you can't not work out with teams, bro.
Yeah, I think not working out is one thing, right? But also like there is some arrogance in being like nah, I'm not coming to the interview, and like if you want me to come, you gotta pay me. Like I hear that, but that's where you're talking about that NIL shit, where like you getting money from sophomore year of college, shit. Sometimes senior year of high school, you get credit out. And so just the expectation for like what these guys are coming in with. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't own any NBA organization, so I don't really care. But I do mean to say, like, if you're willing to put your body on the line and 14 years or 15 years of playing basketball, then you get your opportunity to go to the league. I just would think you would seize the opportunity rather than being like, oh, well, I'm going to choose where I'm going to go. Like, brother, this is a draft. You don't get to self-select that, and they get to choose what they do with their money. So ultimately, you want them to make a good decision. But yeah, the Sharif Cooper, his dad, or Omar Cooper, I think is his name. Not sound advice, I don't think, and I don't think he's allowed to represent any NBA talent anyway. So there's red flags in that situation. There's some players I do want to lift up from this draft. The first one is Yang Hansen to the Blazers. This is like a 7'4" Chinese cat who moves like butter. I don't know if you've seen his post moves.
They said they call him Chinese Jokic.
Bruh, not even Jokic. It looked like some Elijah Wan shit. Like, I'm like, bruh, this is some baby Yao, bruh. So he got drafted. This isn't a sleeper. This segment is for sleepers, but I had to throw a first round pick in there. Yeah. He was, top 20? He was number 16. This cat is nuts. I don't know if y'all have seen it. You got to check out the clips. He's got some footwork, a little drop, a little right hook over the shoulder. He's got a bag, fun to watch, and he's hilarious. I was watching his interview the other day. He was like, all I do is play my video. I just play 2K all day. That's it. And so it's definitely funny to see guys, getting accustomed to the life over here in America. But the young Chinese cat is definitely good at ball. Pick 54 and 56 in the second round. This is where we want to get to some of the elite ball knowledge. Taylon Porter out of Liberty. He did like 3 years at a Division II school called Arkansas Tech, where he was like just mad efficient, a really, really high-level player. Got to Liberty and put up 18, 6, and 2 in his senior year. Was able to shoot the lights out the gym in terms of his percentage. Mm-hmm. I think him going to the Pacers is the perfect opportunity. He's big size wing and can add some playmaking, some scoring, and some facilitating over there because you know your boy will be out for about a year.
Most definitely.
The other one is Will Richard to the Warriors. I thought this was an advanced pick for the Warriors. We usually pick some bullshit late in the second.
Jimski?
We usually pick some bullshit, just to reiterate. And Will Richard, man, I just like the pick. I think it's relatively safe. He is an active defender. He shot 39% from the field, or from three, for his senior year. And anybody who's a winner, I feel like there's just something you get in your locker room of like an attitude, a work ethic, a hustle, like a demeanor. You come off a championship season. You have a good season as a starting senior, and then you get drafted. I think he's gonna come into the league with a chip on his shoulder, and I think if he makes the active roster, I think he'll be a good pick and roll man for Steph. So those are some of the sleepers. Any cats in the draft you looking forward to seeing?
Man, I actually think the Sixers, because I ain't gonna pronounce his last name, but BJ, he sound like he gonna be a dog. Like he was saying his upbringing, he was saying he lived with a generator for 7 years. So I know he gonna see. That's what I'm saying. Like
that's an automatic 30 for 30.
He's hungry, bro. He's not settling because he got NIL money. He hungry, and he's in a good position. You got him, you got Embiid, you got Maxey.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with Podcast P, but you know, you still got Paul George, Jared McCain. You know, they got...
the rookie from last season.
Yeah, from Duke.
Yeah, he can shoot it.
Yeah, so he's in a good situation. That's why I feel like Ace Bailey, he dropped the ball because he would have been perfect for that team.
In Philly, that would have been nuts. But I don't think you can... If you're Philly, you don't want to take any chances on, like, personality. Like, you already got a lot in that building, and you're trying to contain it to go win, which you haven't done at all.
Sure.
And I think the biggest cat on your team is the biggest personality.
I agree.
And so you want somebody who can complement that, not,
but
stir it up.
I think he's going to be a dog, though.
And he's smooth. He's smooth cat, bro. He's super cool in the interviews. His game is smooth. I just think sometimes your game says a lot about who you are as a person.
For sure.
Humble young dude. That was one. He wasn't a sleeper because I just feel like he's gonna be
good.
He's gonna be a good player.
Yeah.
Dope. That's it on the NBA draft. It is the off season, so we know there's a lot of movement going around.
Yep.
I know we talked about it a little bit.
Shout out my
2.
boy, man. He called it to the T. I thought KD was gonna go to the Timberwolves. He picked the Rockets. And he predicted that the Grizzlies was going to have to, we're going to got a clip for y'all soon about that.
I would hate for KD to land somewhere else in the West and make another team in the West better. The team that I think has the assets to go and get him is the Rockets.
Mm-hmm. That's
and that would not make me feel too good. But that team would be good.
But he predicted that one of them 3 had to go, Desmond Bain. So we're going to get into all of that. But talk to him, brother, about KD, man.
Yeah, KD to the Rockets, I think it just makes sense. If you're the Rockets, it's the perfect time to strike. Like I said, and in the last pod, man, I think when you have a lot of young players on your team, it's like the time to go spend money.
Right.
The truth is you're not going to spend a whole bunch of money on these young cats. And if you got 7 to 8, or shit, even if you got 4 to 5 young cats that you're playing, you're relying on to score 15 to 20 points a game. Mm-hmm. If they're on their first deal, which means they're not making that much, you know what I'm saying? That deal is around a vet minimum deal. That deal is a small deal. I think that's when you go and you fill your roster spots with max contract guys like a KD. And so they had way too many cats to pick from, which just made it easy to kind of highlight or assume that they was going to try to get a KD or a Giannis. And so you think about Jalen Green, they offloaded Dillon Brooks, which I think makes them a much better basketball team. If you get Dillon Brooks off your team, you'll win more games. And then they kept some of their guys. They kept Jabari Smith, which is to me a huge steal. I'm like, if you're trading KD, I'm asking for everything I can ask for. So give me size, give me height, give me some defense. But I guess the Suns took small players who have issues. But it just made sense, man. They have the money to spend. I think the current roster looks good with KD on it. Desmond Bain to Orlando. That was another one. I think Memphis just has too much money on the books. Orlando gave up a lot to get Desmond Bain. And this set the market. Like, the reason this is here is because this set the market for this offseason. The trades that we're about to see, some of the free agency we're about to see is going to be predicated off of what guys got and what guys were traded for. If you're trading a two-guard who, I mean, he's a solid cat, but if he's leading your team, at best you're a playing team. And you trading 5 picks and a couple of players for this one guy.
I gotta disagree with you on that one.
I mean, it's exactly what Orlando needed. Like, I understand the trade. It's exactly what Orlando needed.
But I'm saying why I disagree with you because he's not gonna be leading them.
And that's why I said it's what they needed.
Their best player is Paolo.
But the price is too high, right? Like, if I'm looking across the league, that's like when you look at NFL and players, like a good wide receiver gets traded for a 2nd-round pick, like 1 or a 4th-round pick. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, he put up hella yards last season, hella touchdowns, #1 receiver. They just traded him for a 3rd-round pick. Doesn't make sense. But it's about the value. What you're talking about is like the relative value to the team. To Orlando, that is all they need.
And they got rid of KCP, and KCP was a horrible signing for them.
He was slow, old.
They just paid him. They paid him a bunch of money to come to Orlando.
They got rid of Cole, huh?
Yeah, Cole Anthony.
Now that I think some team dynamics. I think he was a big chemistry piece for that team. Just given those young cats were playing together. But if you're Orlando, all you need is a little bit of shooting and some security in your backcourt outside of Franz Wagner. Now you have it. Yeah. They have some young big guys. I think they have Jonathan Isaac on the trade block. They're trying to ship some guys out so they can bring some stability in on the front court. But I just think it's too much. Like, it makes sense because it's what you need, and you can afford to get rid of those picks because this is your future now. But other teams.
But this is what I'm saying. So, as y'all know, Jason Tatum, Halliburton, and Dame all tore their Achilles. Yeah. So the 3 of the top teams in the East is hurt. You know what I'm saying?
So it's time to go.
3 of those teams went to the finals in the last 5 years. So I think they put all their chips at the table like, we got a chance to come out the East. There's not that many teams that it's going to play about health. Like I'm saying, all those players is going to be out at least a year. Yeah. So if you the Magic, if you the Sixers, if you the Pistons, I feel like I'm missing a team. But
Cavs.
The Knicks and the Cavs, this your chance. You can go to the finals and you never know what happened when you get there. So I'll take a big swing right now because the East is a lot of their best players and the conference is hurt. So
you absolutely right, and I think we're speaking to two sides of the same coin. My point is that it has to work. If you're Orlando now, like, you've mortgaged so much of your draft capital, and I get it. It was what, 4 2nd-round picks or something like that.
I think it was 5. I think they gave her like 5 1st-round picks. Yeah.
Hold on, blood. Hold on. Nah, that sounds crazy. We gotta fact check this.
That, but I think so.
Real quick.
I think he went for 5 1st-round picks. But so
no way. Absolutely no way.
I just think Orlando gotta make something shake, man. They got Paolo. He's a good player. He could be a superstar one day. So we gotta see what's going on with that, man.
Wow. Yeah, no. I wholeheartedly disagree with you now. I thought there were 4 2nd-round picks. These are 4 1st-round picks.
Told you.
The KD trade was the 4th 2nd round. Yeah, no, this is crazy. This has to work. I think you also like, where this goes wrong is in this current roster construction. If you have one bad injury and the team needs to be different, you got to trade, you got to go get somebody. Who are you gonna go get with no capital? You have no draft capital.
He's a good player though, bro.
No, I don't disagree with you at all.
He's a better KCP, and he can create shots off the dribble.
It's gotta work.
He can play defense. They got Paolo.
I agree.
They got Franz Wagner.
I agree. It's gotta work though. It's gotta work. It's gotta work. I think what they would have to do instead, in my opinion, is offload some of the guys they're trying to get rid of, or Jonathan Isaac, some of the guys they're looking at, and they have to try to get a 1st back in return. Like, you can't have absolutely 0 1st-round picks in 4 years. And I'm not saying that's the situation they're in. I'm just saying giving up that capital, that'll lock you in.
As a wise man once said, F them picks, man.
Hey, I hear you.
F them picks.
I hear you, but how did they get Paolo? How did they get Franz? How did they get these guys? You know what I'm saying? So
sometimes you gotta say F them picks, man.
Man, I hear you.
Shout out the Rams.
I hear you. It's gotta work. Jordan Poole to the Pelicans, Lonzo to the Cavs. We're talking about the East. Let's stick with Lonzo to the Cavs. What you thinking? What does this make you think about the Cavs backcourt? And then what does it make you think about their potential overall?
I think Lonzo is a winning player. I know he's been hurt a lot, but I think if you put him, he's probably be a backup point guard for Garland. I think they need stability at the backup point guard position. I know they got Ty Jerome still, but
Jerome.
I think he's a free agent, I believe. So I don't know if they're re-signing him. I think or whatever. But
they'll offer him some.
I like Lonzo though. If he can stay healthy, he defends. He could pass. He could shoot threes. The Cavs.
Lonzo's at 6'5".
I think he's 6'6".
I would roll that 3 out there.
No,
I would do it because he can defend. That's the reason I would do it. Garland,
I don't know. Maybe they
Garland gonna have to
he
get
might
the jam.
he might start. I don't know, but I think Cleveland, just like I just said about the Magic, this is their chance, you guys, to do something. They had the best record in the East. They was only 1 game behind, or 2 games behind OKC with the best record in the NBA.
It fell apart after
and they lost to Indiana in 5 games in the second round. Y'all gotta go. This shows y'all a chance to go back to the finals, man. Like I said, a lot of these teams is hurt right now, so Cleveland got to make something shake, man. Or if they don't, this is my stand on it moment. If they don't make something shake this year, they will be breaking up that team, bro. And I think they're gonna break up that team.
Well, I mean, they're committed. They're financially committed to most of them guys.
Yeah, but they could trade them.
I mean, I hear that.
I think if I'm telling you right now,
who goes?
I think if they don't go to the finals,
they trade the guy who's just dropping 40s and 50s in this.
Darius Garland will be out of there because they was trying to trade him for KD. They was gonna give Garland to the Suns. So I think if they don't make it past the second round or to the finals, I think Garland's out of there, and I think they're gonna trade Jared Allen. They're gonna be my 2.
I think they have what they need. I think they need to stay healthy.
Yeah, but they always do good, and then they flame out in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't keep having that though.
It fell apart. You ain't wrong. My point about the trade joint though is they got Lonzo for Isaac Okoro. So my point is if you're a team who like needs somebody, you can go get that without giving up everything.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't give up 4 first round picks to go get Lonzo. So
they just did a player swap.
You do a player swap or you just shoot below the belt. The Bulls are, in my opinion, idiots when it comes to getting good return on your investment in terms of 1, drafts, but 2, trades. When you look at Lonzo, Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, they gave up all them cats, and the return on that is pretty measly. So
I wanted one thing before we get to our next segment, because I didn't touch on the Rockets for KD. I think that's a hell of a move. I think the Rockets is right there, and like my bro said, you know, them not giving up Jabari Smith, Tari Eason, Reed Shepard, or Cam Whitmore, and they was able to keep Phoenix is dumb for that. Like, y'all didn't get nothing back. Y'all got Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, but y'all could have at least got one of those young other players, bro. Like, KD, I know he's older, but KD still averages 25 a game, and that's what Houston needs. They needed somebody to get buckets in the half court, man. And I think they dropped
everybody needs a KD.
They dropped the ball with that. It's Phoenix, I don't know what the hell y'all doing. Y'all, Bradley Beal is staging.
If I was anybody, I would be calling about Devin Booker. If I was anybody in the league, I'd be calling about Devin Booker. I'd be like, what do you want? Do you want? I have a duplex in downtown.
Hey, Bradley Beal got the best contract ever, y'all. He got a no trade clause. So he can do whatever he wants. Phoenix trying to make him come off the bench. He said, I'm not going nowhere. So they stuck with Bradley Beal. But I just think they should have got some more of those young players. That's all I wanted to get to. And I think the Rockets might contend in the West. You know, so
they gotta stay. It's gotta stay healthy and stay right over there as well. Yeah. I think Dylan Brooks off that team is a good thing though.
The Curry stopper.
And then shout out to Jordan Poole. Not too much on this. Just shout out to Jordan Poole. Change the scenery is good. Washington is a terrible franchise. Getting him out to Louisiana, I think that'll be good for him. All right, this is a little game I like to call overpaid, underpaid, or just right. As cats are getting contracts and they're re-signing extensions. We'll let you know how many years they signed for and how much money they signed. Tay's going to let us know if that's too much money, not enough money, or the perfect amount. Starting off in Minnesota, Nas Reed, 5 years, $125 million. That is $25 million a season. Overpaid, underpaid, or just right?
I actually think it's just right, and this is why. because Nas Reed just won Sixth Man of the Year last year, not this year, but last year. He's a good spark plug off of them. He could score. He could shoot threes.
Yep.
He got a little handle to him, you know. So I think they needed him for Minnesota, and I think they couldn't. I'd rather keep him than, like I said, Gobert. So I think it's just right for me. So I think that was a good signing for him, because if he would have went to free agency, I don't think they would have got him. I think he probably would have got overpaid.
I agree. Not too much on this. I think, to your point, it's just right, because if they would have let him go, somebody would have gave him
definitely
40.
would have gave him a bag.
They'd have gave him 140. Nice. Fred VanVleet, 2 years, $50 million to stay.
I actually think is just right, and here's why. I think KD has proven that he's not like a leader as far as like a vocal leader. I think Fred VanVleet is a hell of a leader. He has championship experience. He's older. Like I said, we both said the Rockets is a young team. They need veterans.
But
there.
he's a vet on that team.
So I think that's a good, just 25 a year, 2 years, that's cool. It's like he's not nothing crazy, like 2 years, 80 million or whatever. Yeah. So I think that was a just right as well.
Yeah, money for impact, or like when you think about the value.
Yeah.
$25 million this season for Nas Reed, $25 million this season for Fred VanVleet. Mm-hmm. What they give you in the playoffs, I think, yeah. I mean, relatively, yes, it's worth it. I don't think it's overpaid.
Yeah.
I watched that series against the Warriors, and Fred had me a little scared some games. Yeah. I don't know. He just decided to turn it on. So he could ball, man. 25 a year is not bad. Kyrie, 3 for 119 to stay in Dallas.
I think this is why, again, I say just right, because he actually took a lesser deal. He could have got more money, but he was trying to save some cap space for Dallas to get more players, because he's going to be out for half of the season.
You're at like 40 M's.
Yeah.
How much more, if this is your discount, how much more?
I think he could have got Kyrie? I heard he could have got like 47 a year, 48, but he took less money to build the team. That's how they got to extend Gafford. And I think Kyrie got a lot of flack, man. He got real disrespectful right around, the COVID stuff when he didn't want to get the vaccine. And I think he just been putting his head down with Dallas.
Yeah.
And he just been being a great teammate.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the players that got real disrespected a lot. And I think he just kept grinding, man. So I hope he heals up. Prayers up to him with his recovery. But I think that was a good deal for him. And he might have been their best player in the finals a couple years ago. So,
Which finals?
When they played the Celtics, Dallas. Luka didn't have a great finals, man. Luka, I honestly think that's why Luka got traded.
That nigga didn't have a great finals either, brother.
Nah, but I think he was better than Luka. He won them a game. Luka, look, they was hunting Luka the whole finals.
I'm not gonna sit and hate. That was a bad finals for that team.
Yeah.
The games they lost, they all looked bad.
They looked bad, but I'm saying Kyrie, he gave it all he had though. Luka looked terrible, bro. And that's why Luka's out of there, because the finals had something to do with that. But I think that's a good contract, in my opinion, because he could have got more money.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hate. I think for the production you get, for the type of player you get, for the caliber you get, that price is right on point. And it may even be an underpay. Like you're getting an All NBA, you're getting a superstar talent, you're getting in terms of point guards, you're getting an NBA legend.
For sure. Shout out Kyrie, man.
So yeah, that's a good price. Julius Randle, 3 for 100 to stay in Minnesota.
Now this will be my overpay. And here's
about 33.39.
This is why I say this is my overpay. I think Julius Randle had a good series against LA, not so much against OKC.
He had a good series against the Warriors.
Yeah, but LA, that's my team. He was killing us.
Yeah,
he was killing us. Him and Ant-Man and even Jaden McDaniels. I just think that was a little too much. I would have just tried to do like a 1-year deal maybe, just to see and run it back with the same nucleus, but I don't. I think that's an overpay. I think when you're paying Gobert and now you're paying Nas Reed and Julius Randle, I think one of those three had to not had to go or something. You can't
Gobert's gonna be on the block.
Yeah.
I don't see how you lock in with 25 a year and 33.3 a year with a 4 and a 5.
And Gobert's contract, bro.
And Gobert's contract is
it's ugly.
crazy.
It's disgusting.
The reason I don't think so Julius Randle might be an overpay. The reason why like sometimes you have to go like for the feel of it, and this is why like basketball people like if you watch an NBA player on TV talking about an NBA player, you're like, oh, he's being biased. But it's like he played on the court with Brad. So it's like you get a whole different feel.
No doubt.
Just watching a game, and I've been to a game where I've been to a Knicks-Warriors game, and this was years ago, but I've been to a Knicks-Warriors game, and watching Julius Randle play, I think there's an aspect of like what he brings to a team, what he has with Anthony Edwards. I just think is special, man. I think you do what you can to keep a player in the locker room. And if I have to pay that player $5 million over asking price, right, which is like, I think if he were to be a free agent, I would think 27, 26 and a half, 27 a season. I think if you're looking long term, definitely. Short term, maybe a little bit more. But you pay to keep a player like that around. That series against the Warriors was real. I think almost every player on Minnesota played like shit against the Warriors. I mean, we were down Stephen Curry. Y'all should have blew us out by 40 every game. And there were some games we were close. We even took one. And the only reason it looked that way was because of Julius Randle for them to come back and really impose their will on the team. And I think his attitude, the way he showed up for Ant, bro, that's important. So I think they overpay for some of the chemistry, some of the big brother kind of vet leadership that he could support Ant with.
And Draymond said that that was the only him. He said he lost his matchup to Pascal and Julius Randle since he's been playing in the playoffs.
And that was what I was watching on defense. It's like, sometimes you watch Draymond and he had like somebody has to overpower him to get to the bucket, and he just walks straight through his chest.
He was killing us, and he was killing y'all too.
Yeah, no, he was absolutely killing us.
Shout out Julius, man. You could prove me wrong, bro. I just think it's overpaid, but you never know. We'll see.
The series they lost, I think it was a difficult stretching them out the whole series, getting them up and down the court. I think that's a harder pacing.
He's playing Chet and Hardenstein, two bigs, so.
and he's expected to bunk the whole game.
Look, this is why I say that. The Lakers, we didn't have no big. Y'all didn't really have a big, so we
don't have no consistent bigs.
He could eat, but when he played against OKC, they got Chet Holmgren, who's 7'2". Hardenstein, he's almost 7 feet.
And their smaller defenders at the point of attack are better.
And they could even put Lou Dort on them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have Jalen Williams who can step out. You have the other Jalen Williams. So I'm like, I do think you're able to get a little bit more aggressive with a guy like that when you can throw bodies at him. Last one, overpaid, underpaid, or just right. Your boy LeBron, 1 year opt-in for $53 million.
That ain't my boy, man. But LeBron,
your boy.
I think LeBron this is LeBron, man. He gonna do what he want.
Why does he have to take so much of the team's cap? Damn, you really need 50? You are a billionaire, bro. You really need $53 million?
I don't know, bro. I just think that's what he's been doing. I think this might be his last year, or the next year might be his last year. So I think he's just trying to get as much money before he get up out of there. I think, honestly, but he said he cared about winning. We could take less, but I guess not. You know what I mean? So.
Well, I think there's something about putting the money on the books for one season and like being able to. He always does this 1+1 shit.
Yeah.
Where like he gets a 2-year deal and it's like
he got
$180 million, something nuts. Where the first year is hella money, he opts out, and then he just restructures a new 3-year 2+1 deal. And so now, he opted in, and that number is $53 million. This guy's like 40 years old.
Yep.
I just think this is
41 in December.
This is nuts. Like, can we we need to pull the numbers on how much Tom Brady was making in Tampa Bay? Like, I'm curious to know. I'm really curious to know. Like, how much was he making? Because I don't think it was top of the market. QB
Brady
money.
always is known for taking less, bro. That was his blueprint. He would take less in New England and in Tampa Bay. So
obviously an overpay.
Yeah.
Obviously an overpay. LeBron at 53. Great guy. Love him. One of the GOATs, but $53 million, like, come on, dog.
Speak for yourself.
You're trying to go get talent and build a roster, and you're taking up 40% of your team's active cap for one season.
Yeah.
Right on, dog. That's it for the overpaid, underpaid, or just right segment. We'll be back with it as more folks sign this off season.
Free agency begins tomorrow.
So stay tuned. Stay locked in and comment the signings that you'd like us to talk about, trades that you didn't hear that you'd like us to talk about. Brother Tay, can you tell folks what the song of the day is for you, my brother?
My song of the day is Care For Me. Yeah. I know this lifestyle ain't fair for me. Shout out Bellz, my brother. Keep doing your thing, bro.
Bellz.
All Spotify platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, get all of that. YouTube, do your thing, man.
Yeah.
Shout out for the theme song as well.
Yes, sir. For me, it's Kilo the Wizard. Shout out my boy. I Mean It is the track I've been slapping, so that's the song of the day for me. Want to give a huge shout out to Kingmakers of Oakland for the space.
Appreciate it.
Got the Black Love is Liberation. Want to give my boy a happy birthday shout out. Happy birthday, Tay, man. Proud of you. Love you, boy.
Love you too, bro.
I know you had some festivities going on.
Man, we went to hoops yesterday, bro. I'm still sore. My back sore, man. I feel a little old. But nah, we had a good time. Shout out everybody who pulled up. Shout out my boy Ron, Millie, Sleeves, RJ, my cousin Jelani, my brother-in-law Winston, Mont, my boy Dwayne. I appreciate everybody that pulled up, and my boy Matt. So, yeah, bro, but we're going to do that more often. We might even do a Stand On It episode over there, us hooping or something.
Live and direct.
You never know. Just tune in, bro. So I appreciate everybody pulling up. Shout out my boy Neef, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out all the guys, man. Shout out my boy Marty. It was his birthday yesterday. We was with him in the city, so I didn't come and lace him up with the guys yesterday. I'm going to have to,
we got
you feel me, punish y'all at a different time. But yeah, tell them where to find us at on socials, brother.
Yeah, so find us on Instagram at, Standonitpod _. We got TikTok, Stand On It Podcast. We got another on Twitter /X, Standonitpod _. And man, find us on YouTube. Type in Stand On It Podcast 510. We on all of those platforms, bro. We appreciate the support. Just keep subscribing, sharing our videos. We trying to, make this global, so we appreciate the support.
Yes, sir. That's a wrap on episode 3, y'all.
My dog.
You pick the side, I just hope you gon' stand on it.
Hey, it's just me for the day, but man, I'm here to talk about this Kobe slander, man. This is why I got this platform to talk on my podcast. I'm tired of the disrespect, man. I got the legend on my shirt right now, man. Y'all see? But man, that's too much Kobe slander, bro. And he's not here to defend himself, so I'm here to, defend him, man. Kobe is one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest, man. I'm tired of hearing this. He a sidekick, he a Robin, all this bullshit. Y'all know that ain't true, man. If it was so true, Shaq was in Orlando and was in the finals with Penny Hardaway. How come he didn't win it with him? They got swept in the finals when they played Olajuwon. Stop disrespecting Kobe. Kobe got purposely injured by Jalen Rose, and he said it in an interview. And in the interview, he said he slid under his, his landing zone so he could get, take him out the game. And Kobe came and saved the day on a messed up ankle. Game 5, Shaq fouled out. Kobe sealed the deal, man. So stop disrespecting Kobe, man. And do y'all not remember this GOAT of y'all's named LeBron? He beat 2 of the teams LeBron lost to. He beat Orlando with prime Dwight Howard. He beat 4 Hall of Famers with the Celtics. And with no top 75 player, he just had Pau Gasol. That was it. Kobe was down 3-2 in the finals of 2010. Came back and won the finals game 7. And, he went to the finals 3 years in a row after not having Shaq in the hardest conference in the NBA. And he's the only player in NBA history to beat multiple 50-win teams. He has the most with 25. Stop disrespecting my boy, man. I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of the slander. He ain't here to defend himself, so I'm going to defend him. And you already know we're going to keep talking about him on this podcast. Love you, Kobe. That's the GOAT, in my opinion. So, stop the disrespect before I come find all of y'all.